Hey, Board Game Geeks, what's going on? Happy Saturday. Let's have a spasm, shall we? I'm not late for anything. Hi, Board Game Geeks. I was just, I wanted to tell you about, oh. I'm here with Tiny Epic Quest. I've already done a spasm on a Tiny Epic game. Now I'm doing another one. This Kickstarter just shipped pretty recently. I got my hands on it. If you didn't know it yet, and I'm sure they're not allowed to tell you this over at Gamelyn Games, but this is pretty much Legend of Zelda the board game, and I love it for that. It is a 1 to 4 player adventure board game, and its big claim to fame, or at least one of their big claims to fame, is the inclusion of what they refer to as item meeples. These are tiny little meeples that can actually hold their weapons, and the lovely little weapons that came along with it. The stretch goals meant that there are lots of weapons that got made, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of this. Let's take a look at it. Here is Tiny Epic Quest on the table, and this is a very quick setup just to give you a gist of the idea. As you can see over here, I have the little board of items that you can select from to add to your item meeples. Which is really cool. The way the game goes is that each player has 3 links, because you're totally playing Zelda, and they are running around Hyrule and they are completing quests and getting items to add to their stuff. It's actually really cool when you complete a particular quest. For example, if you were to complete this, discover the lost treasure in the quest there in the Fire Temple, when you're done, you would be able to go over to the board and find the item that matches the quest that you completed, and then add that item onto your item meeple. He'll actually hold it and carry it around with him for the rest of the game, and that particular hero will be able to use that item when he gets into different exciting adventures and stuff on the board. Another cool aspect of the game is that each character, each player who's a different color, has their own board, and each board has 3 legendary items that you can gradually work towards getting. And as you work towards getting it, you will complete different temples in addition to the quests you're working on. And if you finish those items quests, you'll be able to take these legendary items and then add them directly onto your item meeples. The item meeples have these awesome little holes in their hands where you can fit in the items that you get as a result of your combat, and this improves that particular meeple for the rest of the game. The sword is actually just good for that one particular item meeple, but the other 2 items actually affect all of your meeples that are in the game, and that's a really cool element. You've got health and magic to keep track of. You've also got, much like the other Tiny Epic Kingdom, there are actions to choose from that everybody follows, and dice that you roll that everybody follows as well. There's magic spells to try to improve upon, and a magic skill level that goes up every round. That's very much a press your luck game to see if you can stay out adventuring long enough to learn spells. You can stay out too long and become exhausted and have to come back to your castle empty-handed without any items. So you might be saying to yourself, why does he keep saying that this is Zelda the board game? I have plenty of evidence, sir. For example, if you'd like to get the bomb item there, you can get that. Or maybe you're thinking, if only I had like a flute that I could use to play, or maybe a navigating fairy that helps me move more easily. Maybe a potion that would increase my health. Maybe an arrow to help me hit targets from far away. Or maybe a gemstone that'll help increase that. Or, barring all that, maybe just a helpful boomerang to do extra damage that'll come back to me. So, yes, Your Honor, no further questions. As a fan of the Tiny Epic games in general, I like Tiny Epic Quest. It doesn't quite take the crown from Tiny Epic Galaxies, but it's a close second. I love that the game is modular and that it's different every time you set it up. I love that you have different paths to victory, that you can get points from getting quests, increasing your spells, fighting goblins. There's a number of things you can do. I love that the quests are different every game and you don't know what you're going to be getting. I love that the quests can get you the little items. Maybe I shouldn't be such a sucker for the item meeples, but I totally am. After you feel like the game's gotten easy, you can flip over to hard mode, where you play in the darker days, and things are a little bit more challenging. If you were a Kickstarter, you got the expansion, the Golden Mushroom expansion, along with your pledge reward. And this adds some interesting aspects to the game of these little tiny mushroom guys that have to be saved, and you can utilize them by bringing them to grottos to get different abilities and powers and such. You can also buy that separately if you didn't get a chance to get it during the Kickstarter. And I'm sure that this isn't technically The Legend of Zelda, the board game, but from now on it is for me. I want to play green instead of blue because that's what Link is, and I listen to Legend of Zelda music whenever we play it. And I really like it. So if you want to get your hands on what I think is the newest cool Tiny Epic game, check out Tiny Epic Quest from Gamelyn Games. And I am going to do a full review on this on Game Spasm sometime soon on my game channel, my YouTube channel, so you can come check that out. And yeah, so thanks for hanging out with me on this Saturday here on Gamerati. I'm Brian Hazard, and I will see you on The Geek. Take it easy.